Mitch Soja. We're here for a session in Studio F. I'm going to be talking about a couple of our mics and preamps, and I'm starting with the kick. We had a mic inside the kick, which was a Beta 52, which we had going into the Manley. The Manley is actually what we used for all of our kick and snare mics because it just works really well for those punchier drums. For an outside kick mic, we used a 421, just run in the mill, it works. And then for snare top and bottom, we used 57. Once again, it just works. So that's kind of why we picked those mics and preamps.
All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about our choice for the toms, overheads, room, and vocal mics. So for the toms, we had two 421s, because those are kind of a go-to tom mics, and we ran them through the Daking pre's, because those are kind of like a go-to pre for toms. And then our overheads, we used the 214s, and we used the 214s because we've used 414s in the past, and we just wanted to try, we've never used 214s, wanted to try them out, see how kind of they stack up against 414s, and we put those through the Shadow Hills preamp. That was a nice pair of two, and it had the dial for selecting like discrete and nickel, and kind of so we could get the exact sound that we wanted. And then for the room, we used a U87 because we could put it in Omni, and we put that through the Vintech, and then we put that through the Distressor, so we can smash it a little bit and get a nice room sound. And for vocals, we did a little shootout between the U87 and the Z5600A number 2, which is the tube mic here in Studio F. We ended up liking the Z5600A a little bit better because it had a little bit more of that airy kind of high end to it. And then we also ran that through the 543 compressor.
Can we get Zach to play some guitar? And
So-
what are we patching here today?
So because of all the DIs we're using, we're actually took 1/4 inches into the wall and then out through the wall as well. So I'm just making all these patches here from studio to studio to get all these 1/4 inches to where they're supposed to go with their DIs.
Now that we talked about everything else, you probably are wondering what we used for the two guitars and the bass that we had in this section. We had a rhythm guitarist, a lead guitarist, and a bass guitarist. And because for part of the assignment we had to do reamping, we did all of them through DI as well as going through the amp as well. All of the DI channels, we just used the radial JDIs that are in the studio, and we ran those all through the Focusrite that's over there, just because that's the cleanest thing, because we want something clean when it goes back into a very dirty amp later on. In terms of actual mics that we used, on the guitar one, it was a 1x12 Black Star cab, which is kind of a tinier, I guess, brighter like sound to it. So for that, we wanted to capture that with just a 57, and we had that going through the Vintech 2, which is a Neve emulation. So it gets that nice tube sound and goes through that. We only put one mic on there just because obviously we are reamping it. So if we wanted a different sound, we'll get that when we put it through another amp. And then for the guitar 2, which was the rhythm guitar, this was a much larger cab. It was like a custom, like I think like 2 or 3x12 going like vertically cabinet, and there was a head on it as well. And for that one, because it was a little bit bigger and it's more rhythmy, and also because the drummer of this band, for one of his other projects, he was curious of how a 421 sounded on a guitar, so we decided to mic that one up with a 421 going through the Vintech as well to get that nice tube sound, but to also get more of the mellow tones coming out of the 421. So that's what we did for that. And then also for the bass guitar, we just chose an old classic. We just did the RE20 going through the UA1. We had the setting all the way on tube, so it gets more of the tube sound out of there. The actual bassist himself had a lot of effects and a lot of distortion going in even before the DI, so that really helped kind of crunching up everything as well too. And you definitely hear on the DI track as well, there are some fuzz and other things, because that's where he plugged his pedal board into.
Okay, that definitely sounds like phase right now.